Okay, I'm going to try to help answer this question here in less than 30 minutes because I have a live workshop I'm trying to get to. So, let me get my stuff going. Here's the question. The question Steph had was this. Is it true that if you don't have multiples of the same item, your chances of ranking are low? I have 67 listings, but 95% of them are one of items. I've worked on my SEO, tags, title, etc., and yet my views are very low and only 4 sales this year. Well, first, that tells me I need to look at your shop because you may not be using the best SEO, tags, titles, pictures, etc. You make one-of-a-kind wood-burning pieces, so each listing has one in stock. Does this hurt my chances of having a successful shop? Well, first of all, if you make wood-burning pieces, okay, is every single one you ever do nothing alike? If I want a wood-burn piece with my name on it, can you not make me one with my name because you only will make the one with Jacob's name over here or something? You know, you can make the same item more than one time. It will not have to be identical. Since I haven't seen your shop, if you could list it so that I can find it, I'll go into it and actually look at your exact shop if you link this to us right now. But some things people are thinking are a one-of-a-kind are not necessarily a one-of-a-kind item. Every piece I make is one-of-a-kind for that customer. But I can duplicate it for another customer. It just won't be identical. It will be very, very similar. A lot of things are like that. Jewelry, you can remake the piece. It's not going to be the exact piece. It may not be identical completely. The stone may not be exactly the same, but you can list it and have one listing and that you can remake it, and you only put in the listing that these items are each a one-of-a-kind. The photo shown is a sample of what you will get. No two are exactly alike. There may be a variation in stone color, size, blah, blah, blah. That is how you do this so that you can have the thing relist multiple times and gain stats with it. Okay? So there is a good way to do this. Oh, God, sorry. I need some water. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I got a sinus headache going. So, yeah, if you only are listing that as a one-of-a-kind and you put the, in your shop, so you have, X number of listings and all are one-of-a-kind, and then you delete that listing and never use it again, even though it's something you could remake and it be similar, you're putting yourself at an extreme disadvantage that way because you're not gaining stats on the item. Even if when you relist it, you need to put a new photo up of a second piece, you can do that. Like Kelly has said, was it Kelly? No. Somebody, Alina said, she makes one-of-a-kind jewelry, but she can remake it, but it would be a different piece of a coral stone or whatever, and she just changes the picture out. That's the proper way to do this. Here's the thing, basically when you're talking about a one-of-a-kind item, say you go to an estate auction, you find a vase and you're going to sell in your vintage shop, and it's the only one you have. You don't know if you will ever possibly get another one like it again. That is a one-of-a-kind item. or something that you make that you cannot duplicate at all, and you will never be able to make another piece even similar to it, that is a one-of-a-kind item. But something like jewelry that you can get the same supplies and remake it and it be similar is not really a one-of-a-kind per se item. I mean, it is, but it's not a one-of-a-kind, I can only list it one time item. Some one-of-a-kinds are I can only make it one time, or I will only ever have it one time. And some one-of-a-kind things are things you can duplicate, and they're one-of-a-kind, but you can duplicate them and you can list them in a listing that repeatedly renews, I guess is a better way to explain that. So I'm going to go, let me see. I'm going to see if I can find Steph's shop, maybe. I don't know if I can or not. I'm not sure if I can find her shop. So I'm going to try to find her shop. So hang on. So I can actually, a time to burn. Here we go. Here's Steph's shop. Wooden things. This is a sign that's a okay, she's calling it a one of a kind, but she can duplicate this sign. It may not be the exact same sign, obviously, but it can be duplicated to remake it for another person. Okay, so currently she has 67 items in here. Bless our home. There's only one of these in stock. The problem is she can make another one like it. It might not be exact, but this is not truly a one-of-a-kind item if you can duplicate it. And by having this listed as there's only one of these in stock, when it's something that you can duplicate, even though it may not be identical, it would be very, very close. What if Grandma says, I really like this sign, and I want to buy all my grandkids this sign, and I'd like to buy 6 of these. Grandma can't buy 6 of these because you have one listed. Even though you could make Grandma 6 of these, they would each be individual and a little bit different, just like her grandkids. You have missed out on a huge potential sale because you have only got one listed in stock, and you do not have it listed like you can remake it, even though you really can. It doesn't have to be exactly identical. So this is one thing that you are doing in your shop that's hurting you. This one here, there's only one of these in stock. Well, by golly, I know enough about this kind of wood burning with people that I know that do it and sold it in my shop to know you can duplicate this sign. This is not a true one-of-a-kind item. It is the only one you have made right now, but you could make me 10 more if I wanted them. They wouldn't be identical, but they would be the same sign with the same saying on it. So I'm hoping that is making sense to everyone that's watching. I don't know how many people are seeing it right now, but you know, all of these things that she has got listed in her shop as a one-of-a-kind are not a truly one-of-a-kind item. Okay? This is something you can make and duplicate. This item should be listed like you have 20 of them. So when one of them sells, you don't even have to change the photo. You have it in here, and you have it listed in here that each sign is made to order. This is a made to order item, not a one-of-a-kind item. And you listed in here that you can make it again, and it takes X amount of time to ship it. If it's going to take you 2 weeks to make it, you put in here 1 to 2 weeks working time instead of 1 to 2 days shipping time. If you have one ready to ship, hunky-dory, great for that customer. You put it in the mail, you ship it, they think they have gotten super fast service. If you don't, or if somebody comes along and they want to buy 10 of these, you can make them 10. They don't have to be identical. You list that you have 10. You list that it is made to order. This is a made to order item in your shop. And so the customer knows it might take a week or two to have it made and then be ready to ship. That's how you do this. This is where you are going completely backwards wrong with your shop. And this is what's hurting your shop, because you are listing this as a one-of-a-kind item when it is actually something you can make multiples of. Somebody might see this and say, oh my God, I love their work. I want to stock it in my store. I want to message them and say, can I buy 15 or 20 of these to stock in my store? But you are saying you only have one in stock, like you found it at a sale, instead of making it yourself, and you can duplicate it and make more. So I do hope she is watching this, because she needs to get this point right here. These are not things that you can't duplicate. These are not true one-of-a-kind items at all. These are things you can remake multiple times. All of this is. So listing these things as one-of-a-kind items, here you go. You've got this, and each one is on a different kind of wood. If I was going to make this, and it is on a different kind of wood, and you might not be able to get that same wood again, then yeah, it would be a one-of-a-kind item. But you don't even have this one showing as a one-of-a-kind item. You have this one done the correct way, where you can buy, you can get multiples of. You can remake this item hundreds of times. That's how you make your shop grow. Anything like that, here you've got this thing listed all different kinds, all different ways with different wood. So if I buy this and I buy 3 of these, I'm expecting it to be pretty much the same colors on the wood. That's how I would expect all of those. And you can do that, and you can list them different times with different colors. But see, this one here and this one here look like identical ones. Why one is 75 and one is 90 would be my question as a customer, because it looks like the same thing. It is the same thing. It's the same wood even listed. So this one doesn't even make sense to me, because it is the same item as in the first listing. Unless you're going to put it as a one-of-a-kind, you don't do it like this and have 190 and 175, because it's the same thing. They should both be 90. They either should both be 90 or both 75, period. Kind of how you do it. Unless there's a huge difference in the way it is made, then it doesn't need to be a separate listing. And she has, this here and this here are the same. One says 90, 175. Why is the difference? Please explain to me why one is so much more than the other one is the identical item. You're even using the same picture. So what makes one less than the other? Okay. That's the question here with those items. If they're the same, it's one listing, same price, you have 20 of them because you can repeat make them. Or either there needs to be a bigger difference in them to list them separately like this with different prices. Because as a customer looking, if I see this and I'm doing a search and I come across this and I see this from your shop, one says 90 and one says 75, I'm going to wonder why you're charging so much more for one than the other when they look exactly alike. So that's something that does need to be addressed. I mean, it's a way to get more listings in your shop, but unless you're going to put them as one of a kind, you don't do them this way and have different prices. That's just a no-no. I'm sorry, y'all. But anything that can be duplicated and remade is not a one of a kind. And I am sure that there are many, many other patterns and things that you have made or can make that you can have listed in your shop. I know that there are. And so you could be filling up your shop with more listings that way. Yeah, I mean, all of these here, I'm guessing I'm going to click on any one of them and it's going to say it's a one of a kind when you can make multiple. So you need to change that and you need to fix that because that's going to help your shop out a ton. The next thing you're going to need to fix is this. Your titles aren't right either. Gift for him, gift for her. That goes in the tags, not in the title. I wouldn't even, I mean, I would put Mother's Day, Father's Day gift, but there are better wordings you can put in here for this title to get you seen in better searches. I'm not sure if she has joined my private class for this or not. If you haven't, you might want to consider it just so we can work on your titles and get you more one-on-one help. Because the titles are what's holding you back from getting that one seen for sure. This one is a little bit better. Bedroom decor, blended family sign. 5th anniversary gift for her. You know, this can be any anniversary. So putting 5th anniversary is not helping you exactly. Anniversary gift for her would be okay. Or wedding gift, wedding shower gift, maybe. But your titles need a little more work. Your photos are okay. A little good editing job would brighten them, make them better. Or if you could possibly take the photos for something like this outside, I think you would get better lighting with them. Light boxes work great when the lighting's right, but sometimes they don't work all that good. You need to do it even after you've taken it. You need a better editing job to brighten it up because they're a little dark looking. But your shop, it does still need help. It does still need work. And one of the biggest things is this listing everything as a one of a kind when it's something you can duplicate. That's the big problem here, is that you're listing things that can be remade as as something that can't be duplicated. And you don't want to do that because that just hurts you. And the other thing is that you know, I'm looking, hold on. I have 67 listings, 95. See, yeah, you have 67 listed and 95% of them are one-of-a-kind items, but they really aren't one-of-a-kind items, Steph. I'm sorry. These are things I know for a fact you can duplicate. May not be identical, but you can remake them. So they are not what you would truly consider a one-of-a-kind. So that's what's hurting you. Next, you've worked on your SEO, tags, title, pictures, etc., but your views are still very low. That's because even though you've worked on your SEO, you still don't have it quite right, and that's why you're not getting as many views. You are one that, honestly, you know, I can explain this all day long in general terms, but sometimes people still just don't get quite what they need to unless they're in the one-on-one class where I could actually do a one-on-one conversation with you and explain it to you and actually sit down and go through titles with you and help you figure this out, because you're getting close. You're just not quite there yet. I'm going to link the video I'm doing now to this little string where everybody's looking at so that you can see it. I'm going to show you an example of my shop and how I have things listed that are one of a kind. I can only, you know, everyone's different, but yet I can remake it for you so it's not truly a one-of-a-kind listing. So I have this bracelet, for instance. I can make this bracelet as a one-of-a-kind. No other one I ship out is going to look exactly like this because it is going to have different kids' names on it, okay? But I can remake this multiple times. I can even remake it in brass and make it all gold. But it's still the same item, same basic design, okay? But each one's different. So I list that I have 20 of them because I can remake it 20 or 30 or 40 times, okay? Even these, that is a one-of-a-kind design that a customer designed, I made multiples for her. They're not all identical, but I made multiples of them. This item here, I could call it a one-of-a-kind item because every single one I make, because it is made with vintage silverware, the handle part, this part here in the back is going to be different. And I list that the handles may vary based on the supplies I find. So no two are ever going to be exactly alike, but they're similar. When I stamp something, I don't stamp every single piece exactly the same. That's part of the art form of it. Every time I stamp, the letters can be varied. Everything can be different. Even though these two pieces look almost identical, they are not identical. You can look at them and see the stars are not in the same place. So it is not exactly an identical item. It is not exactly a one-of-a-kind either. But it is an item that I can make more of, but each piece is unique. They are not machine made. There may be differences in them. You're buying a piece that, yeah, it's a one-of-a-kind for you, but I can duplicate it. Unless it's something that somebody sent me their own silverware, and I'm not going to have that silverware ever again. So that would be truly a one-of-a-kind custom order piece for that person. So I hope maybe that makes a little more sense to you. Even this piece here, no two are ever alike. The wording may vary. It's not going to be the exact identical thing as far as alignment, shape, how it is, but it's the same piece. I can remake it. I'm going to have a different little initial with it. Yours is the same way. You can remake it, and it's not going to be identical. So, but you can duplicate it. So it's not a one of a kind. It's a design that you're making that can be duplicated, and that's where you're hurting your shop. Unless it's something that truly can never be duplicated, then everybody's messaging me, y'all. Then you don't list it as a one of a kind. You get to the end and you can't get the supplies to make it again. The last one's a one of a kind. It's the last one I'm going to ever make unless I find more supplies. But if you can duplicate it, just you hurt yourself, you kill yourself by not listing it that way. That's, you just first need to learn the difference in what is truly one of a kind and what is not a one of a kind. I'm going to link this video on your shop so you can see it in case you're missing it now. And because I do need to get to the class I'm going to get to. And hopefully that will explain a little bit for everybody. I'm going to sign off now so I can hop over to that class on eRank.